Thomas Tuchel has reportedly been very outspoken internally, and that he wants Todd Bowley and the new owners to really back him, back the squad, back the club, back the fans, and make Chelsea capable of competing with City and Liverpool again next year. One of the biggest links to your club, it's kind of, I read different outlets it's almost like every other day. 1 minute they will pay it, next minute they won't pay it. Declan Rice to Chelsea has been a transfer that's been on for a long, long time. Is that the level of caliber that you now need, David, to come into Chelsea, to take your midfield and team to the next level? Declan Rice, 80, 90, 100 million pounds to transform your team into title winners, title challengers at the very least.
The question was caliber of player, yes. Because I personally think that Declan Rice is one of the best young DMs in the world. I think he's that good, right? However, I said it last year, and no one wanted to listen to me, and I'll say it again this year. If you spend £100 million on one person, it is a bad idea. Unless you are signing prime Messi, prime Ronaldo, you do not spend 100 million on your player, because quite simply, one, you're putting too much pressure on them. Two, especially in the position that Declan Rice plays, it's hard to see what he actually will add to the squad overall.
What?
For you to quantify it at 100 mil. Again, 100.
David, only if you're basic. Only if you're basic. If you're basic.
Terry, 100 million pounds. When we're talking about 100 million pounds, you have to be extra.
Mbappe, Messi, so forth.
What about Virgil van Dijk? Would you have paid 100 mil for it? Seeing what he has become at Liverpool, they spent 75. Would you look at it now? Would you have spent 100 mil on him?
What, back then? No.
No. Looking at context of
if I look at it now, then yes. But if I look at it back when they were doing it, no. I can see why they spent 70, 75 mil. I can see that. If we can get Declan Rice for around 60 to 70 mil, 50. I'm cool. I am cool with that. That's not a problem for me. But when you're getting to those three figures of 100 M's, especially after what happened last year, no. You can get Frankie De Jong and somebody else who can supplement his job. You can do that.
Yeah, I fully agree. I fully agree. Like 100 mil for that's madness. That's madness. Man, Jay, relax, man.
How much, Dan? Obviously, you're a West Ham fan. When it comes to Declan Rice, honest to God, what's he? 22?
23.
23. That's almost 10 years or so you've got of Declan Rice at the highest level. That's £10 million a year for a player of Declan Rice's level in terms of transfer fee. Do you think Chelsea fans are disrespecting him by saying that he's overrated, not worth the money, not worth the commitment? What do you think as a West Ham fan?
Yeah, look, I think there is that. Look, they've been on his case for ages, like constantly downplaying him just because there are a section of this. There's this weird thing in Chelsea's fan base, and it's like the pro Mount, anti Mount, the pro Rice, anti Rice. It's so funny they have pro Rice, anti Rice camps for a player that don't even play for them, and I see this all the time. And the anti Rice get even more angry because the pro Rice put him up, and it's just one of those things of he is a quality player, as was said earlier, and for me, he improves any team. And yes, okay, you don't see what he does in terms of he's not going to be banging in 20 goals and assists, this, that, and the other. But if it's a position that you need, he massively improves your team and also bring into the leadership capabilities. He is a legit real captain. And there's not many of them around today.
But Dan, honest question. Is he worth 100 mil? And don't say this as a Western fan, because we know that you're going to pocket 100 mil for yourself. So just say that as an objective person, do you believe that Declan Basmati Rice is worth 100 mil?
I think it's such a loaded question because I don't know. Like, if you ask me legit, like not what I want, what is he worth? I haven't got a clue. I haven't got a clue what any player is really worth because the market is crazy right now. The market is messed up. But if you look at a team, say Man United, I think he is worth 100 mil plus to Man United because that's a position that they desperately need. Obviously, they've got a massive rebuild now with the new manager, so they're not going to drop that on one player. But if there was if they could buy one player, they could spend that on Declan Rice. Now, I don't know Chelsea's needs that much. But if you was to look at that, putting in a player that will be world class in that position, that will be a leader and will be the captain of your club, that to me, and the England international, all the tax that comes with it, 100 mil, yeah, like you slap that down. I'm sorry, Jack Grealish went for 100 mil. Jack Grealish,
Yeah, and
did
And
nothing.
thank you. And look at how he's
Jack
flopped.
Grealish
No,
turned
but
out.
anyone could see that Jack Grealish was not going to improve Man City. I called it out straight away. You could see he wasn't. That's not what they needed, but they panicked. But if you really need a DM, he's going to improve your team.
If you think
Plus, he's
about
proper
it,
Chelsea, man. He's proper Chelsea.
I don't care about Chelsea. If you really think about it and think of every single player in history who's been worth 100 mil, whether you want to do inflation adjusted or whatever, how many of those players have actually panned out to do what they said? Because again, Mbappe, I would argue, even though the talent is 100 mils worth, because they are not getting a transfer fee out of it, spending that initial 150 mil to get him out of Monaco may not have been worth it. Neymar at 220 odd mil. That transfer is not worth it. Neymar's a fantastic player.
But
Yeah,
look
but
at shirt sales, man.
Branding,
We are
yeah,
now-
branding.
You're
now
missing the
getting
point
into
here.
stages
West
where-
Ham fans, sorry, not West Ham. Chelsea fans are missing the point here. £100 million for the. Everybody still looks at someone's salary and somebody's transfer fee based on their playing ability. And I don't know how many times I've said this. My lips have gone blue with the oxygen I've lost. You factor in the commerciality. Declan Rice is the mainstay starting midfielder in an England team. Chelsea are an English club. He's going to remain in England. You own the image rights to Declan Rice.
He will be England captain. I guarantee it.
Yeah,
He's gonna
a
be the
great
England
chance of
captain.
that. And you own the image rights to one of the most popular players in England. So when merchandise and photographs and marketing is used, your football club is earning money from that. He will generate a huge amount of money for Chelsea back into especially with the whole proper Chelsea from the academy that he returns. There is, you have to factor that if a player costs you 100 million, 80 million, 50 million to buy and generates you 10 million pound of income versus someone who costs 100 million to buy but generates you 50 million pound of income, they've cost you the same amount of money. And it doesn't work as basic as that. But that's why net spend ain't real, because you have to factor in what someone's going to earn you. Cristiano Ronaldo is on 400 and something grand a week, but he made Man United break record sales of their shirts. So they hit their numbers with Adidas, so they got paid their bonuses and their money from them. So yes, he's on more money, but he's made them more money. So on a cost to income ratio, Ronaldo is probably cheaper per week for Man United than Jesse Lingard is. And I know that stuff's complicated for some people and boring, but Declan Rice is worth so much money. It has to be.
I 100% get that. But when you look at our squad, especially as well, if it was all we really needed is a DM, then I could see why spending 100 mil was worth it, right? But you look at our squad, we need a striker, we need a winger, we need attacking midfielder, we need two centre backs because two of them are leaving. We need backup fullbacks because if Reece James
left back, left
and
back,
Ben
back
Chilwell
right
go
back,
down, we're done for. We might again. Some people may argue we might need a new goalkeeper because Kepa might have to go. Like again, you're going through our squad and there are so many holes in it that if someone came up to me and said you have 100 mil, you can either get Declan Rice today or you can get Boubacar Kamara on a free plus the signing fee plus Jules Koundé and what's that centre back's name? Koulibaly from Napoli. I'm taking those three because quite simply I need to fill gaps in my squad.
But you're talking. I get that, but a lot of Chelsea fans want Tchouaméni. They want Tchouaméni. Now Tchouaméni is going to cost you 70 million. So if you spend 70 million on Tchouaméni, yes, you've got 30 million spare for one other player. That might be Koulibaly, but you're still going to have holes. By your logic, any player worth more than 70 million pounds this year, Chelsea should be avoiding because it means you're going to lose out on other players. Chelsea are rich.
I would say we need to seal the holes first before we need not like obviously not like literally be like, okay, we need to get these 6 positions before we go for Declan Rice, but we need to have a surefire plan for filling up the squad with the right players and clearing out the dead woods before we start looking at let's get this one superstar signing.
Yeah,
because ultimately our squad does lack in superstar quality, and we can fill that position with.
But I don't think Chelsea's right for Rice. I think we should talk about that. We talk about is Rice right for Chelsea? Is Chelsea right for Declan Rice? No, it's not, because their fan base are not loyal at all.